Hello and thanks for watching this video. Welcome back to CB English Tuition. My name is Charlie and my goal is to make you fluent. This series of videos will help you become aware of the psychological barriers that might be slowing you down in your language learning journey. This episode is called Start Creating and Stop Deliberating. And I'm going to be talking about two learning styles that can hinder you when you are learning your English. I'm then going to go over the idea of mistakes and reframe them in your brain, followed up with a summary of what I've told you, and then end with an action list for you to do today. So let's get going. Support point 1, inactive learning versus active learning. Don't know what I mean? Well, do you watch movies in English? Do you listen to audiobooks in English? Do you tune into the BBC ever? If you said yes to any of these questions, then you might indeed be an inactive learner. Inactive versus active is described in the way in which you interact with the language. An inactive learner will spend a lot more time learning but not progressing in the speaking aspect of the language. When one is inactively learning, they are involved in listening or reading exercises. And while they get good at learning how to recognize sounds and words, they still are not improving their speaking ability. Active learning is like the steroid to language learning. To be active, you need to be creating, be it speaking or writing. It is indeed very simple. Practice what you want to be good at. If you want to get good at breaking down what someone said to you and understanding the grammar behind their sentence, then get those grammar books out. But if you want to be able to simply reply to the person, then start creating spoken English. Disclaimer: the listening and reading aspects of English are real and grammar can occasionally help. Do not burn your grammar books, throw your TV out the window, or eat your iPod. We want to continue watching, listening, reading, and observing, as you do need balance. But the majority of what you need now is to start creating English. Support point 2, inductive learning versus deductive learning. When I started to learn another language, Spanish, I was always wanting to learn the rules first, then apply some examples, and then go out and practice this. Unfortunately, this was one of the biggest downfalls because it was very time-consuming, boring, and I was rarely satisfied. What I was doing was called deductive learning. It is robotic and unnatural in language acquisition. The remedy is to learn inductively. That is to be exposed to the language, practice it yourself, and then naturally and gradually come to a general understanding of the rules. To me, it's as devastating as being told the punchline of a joke before the beginning. It reduces the enjoyment of the entire experience simply due to the order. The straightforward answer is to try to create English before learning the rulebook. You are probably thinking that this method encourages you to make a mistake. You are totally right. I am not going to say it doesn't, because it does. However, I will say that over the last 2 years, I have met on average one new English learner a day, and I have asked every single one of them, what advice would you give to another English learner? They say, don't feel embarrassed about making a mistake. Support point 3, mistakes release the learning brakes. If we look at young children, they have this inability to understand embarrassment, which is in fact a secret to their success in learning. They just try and try until they succeed. But the older we get, the more we fear failure, right? We do this for a number of reasons, partly because schools are designed to kind of punish failure and reward success. Another reason is because we develop higher expectations of ourselves. We think we should know everything, and if we don't, then that is our fault for not knowing it yet, which is pretty crazy. Let go of the embarrassment attached to making a mistake. Think of a mistake as your fast track pass to fluency. The more you make a mistake, the more you learn. We can even change the phrase from a mistake to a mistake. That's it, just a mistake. And then next take will be better. So go out there and honestly try to make mistakes. My best Skype classes are full of them. The worst lessons are the ones when my student doesn't try to speak. They don't try because they are concerned about making a mistake. So go into a conversation trying to do this, trying to make a mistake. The worst that will happen is that you will make someone else feel clever because they can correct you. You can even associate doing a mistake in English as a good deed to the world because you are making your listener feel pretty clever. Wow. Okay, I think I have said enough new information for episode 1. Today you learned how to learn. Get active with the language. Take it on in an inductive way. And finally, make those mistakes. Make a mistake every single day to ensure you learn fast. Right, so now remember to use this information and not lose it. Do this by doing at least one of these 3 tasks. The first one, go to TED.com. The website link is below this video and find a talk that is interesting to you. Watch the talk and then write about it for about 200 words and share it with someone. Actually share it with someone. Number 2, create your own video of you speaking English, answering the questions that I have prepared again below, and share the link as a comment to this video. And lastly, number 3, connect with an English teacher online and bring the language alive at your own convenience. Click this video link to see how to do that with me or another teacher at CB English Tuition. My name is Charlie, and see you next episode.